Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Speaking in the boys' fellowship is not new, but it's been some time. I haven't been to this fellowship. When Niloka asked me if I can speak, I was thinking what I should speak. So I asked him, you give me the theme, then I will think about it and speak. If you leave it to me like that, I will be bombarded with various things. I already have many things in my brain already. So you give me one specific theme, and I will do it. Then he went back after some hours, he texted me this theme. And this theme is the hardest of all themes ever. Because talking about integrity, it is from the smallest to the giant most issues integrity can cover. So I must make sure that I speak something that is practicable, that is at least something challenging for each one of us here. The drama that is just played here is the epitome of our everyday struggle. And that is until death. And so we got to keep running. As Akeno said, keep checking where we are. And it truly have also impacted on me. And thank you so much for the drama. As I said, integrity is not a smaller topic. It's too vast. And, but yeah, for instance, like boys, who took my pot? Seriously. Today, Crystal and orientation group wanted to cook pork in my house. So I scolded him, brother. You better go first and bring my pot. Yeah, Hamgan, Hamshan, Aito, Jinkai. It's about integrity. Last week when Dr. Hudon spoke, he was sarcastic in telling us how many theological students take leave because you're not well. Because you're unwell, but actually you're well. That's the question of integrity. Where do we start talking about integrity? From little things to many things. When you go to the public toilets, in the bus station, in the city center, or even here, some common toilets are here. And in the toilet, you use it, and you're in a hurry. Do you just ignore splashing proper water? Because nobody's looking at you. And just let it just be it and just move away. And you leave it stinking. That's the question of integrity. What do you do when people don't see you? I like the drama where Lika, after eating something, put the covers in his pocket. How many of us go walking around, eat anything you want to eat, when nobody sees you, you just throw it in the street and litters around? How many dumping pits do we have in the boys' hostel? Do you properly manage and throw it? When you go to the dumping area and no one is looking at you, you just throw it just the way you want it. That's the question of integrity. The scripture passage was read to us by Paulo, which I will read again. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely. But whoever follows perverse ways will be found out. Proverbs 11:3. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. Proverbs 28:6. Better to be poor and walk in integrity than to be crooked in one's ways even though rich. I'll talk about 2-3 points, just words of encouragement really, not a sermon. I don't want to name this as a sermon, but a talk, okay? And towards the end, I asked Ducato to get ready with one video, 3 minutes, 22 seconds. We will watch this video. After that video, I will illustrate something, and that's how we end. My first point is trust, or being trusted. Look, how many of you want yourself to be trusted by people? Everyone wants. Yes or no? How many of you want to be trusted by your roommate, by your classmates, by your friends, by your family, by your local village community? How many of you want to be trusted by your church? It is everybody's dream, and it is everybody's race that we want to achieve that. I'm telling you, boys, to get your doctoral degree, you need money, you need labor, you need to sacrifice. To earn the trust from people, you got to do all it takes. It calls for your integrity. When trust is broken, when you don't live up to the point where you're being trusted, all is gone. If health is lost, something is lost. If wealth is lost, something is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost. That includes trust is lost. To have experience of trust being lost, this is zero integrity. As young as you are, 22, 24, 26, 30, 35 to the most, you got to build trusts. Trust comes out of your personal integrity, out from the character you possess. Now check it out. You profess yourself, and I profess myself, as someone who can trust. Your church pastor look up on you. All your cousins look up on you because you are PDMTH Wala. Rohit, that small, very nice Nepali Baptist church now builds trust on you, Rohit. But discrepancies over your character, if the trust is broken, what do you become? You become integrity-0. Some of you, I believe, have earned that trust from your church community, village community, as a young boy, and to this day. Be careful. Check on your character. Less people know it, and you lose it. I'm not pointing to anybody else, but this is important. Because I'm in the youth ministry. I'm telling you, there are many wolves here in sheep's skin. You look like a ship. That too, white ship, looking like a snow. Looking like a wow. But inside of you, you damn wolf. Foolish. If that comes out, your trust is gone. Theologians, theological students, people in the ministry, it is important to be careful. Well, not that I am challenging you to be perfect. No. All of us are in the race, as I just started my topic. But it's a call for you all to be careful, to check. Like chess players, when they are about to kill the enemy, there's this one word that comes. Move to position and say, checkmate. This is coming towards the final. Got to check. The second point I want to talk is deceive. In the Bible, there are a lot of words, deceive. Hypocrisy. Well, I shouldn't have spoken all these things because it's sort of a repeat for at least 10 people here. Because I've admonished at least 8 to 9, 10 people on these areas. Voluntarily, and also because I'm given the responsibility to look at somebody. You deceive yourself. If you don't live your story. You've got story. You've got beautiful stories that should build you, that should promote you, that should change you, that should give you everyday energy. But you don't live that life. You live the other life. You want to live who you are not. That's not integrity. Your worthiness, your integrity, your upbeat character, your self-respect and self-esteem can only come if you live your story. If you live authentically who you are. You can't pretend to be who you are not. If you keep pretending to be who you are not, that is not integrity. That is not a balanced life. That is totally imbalanced life. See, I wrote this just half an hour before I came. You have an ocean of stories to swim, but you are drawn to the pond of your own creation. I read again. You have an ocean of stories to swim with, but you are drawn to the pond of your own making. That means you're deceiving yourself. You're deceiving your family. You're deceiving your identity. Your parents put big hope on you. You're here showing the wrong identity. Your parents struggles to send you here. You struggle to get money to go outing and drink and come. What an irony. You're not living your story, aren't you? Well, I'm observing that this batch of students in boys' hostel are all very, very good. I think the present final years will know when I was the warden in charge. Many expulsions happened. Brown sugars were found, sunflowers were found. Transferred student came. In that same month, he was found drunk with another 2 friends. Warden like me, he was also put to be in trouble. So many commotions happened. So much of stealing. Every now and then, 10,000, 14,000, 500, 200, suspicion all around. I tell you, this batch of students are very quiet and there's no commotion. And I appreciate that. But listen, you're showing the wrong picture. You're representing the wrong image of your family you represent. See, students and mature faculty living here, what you do, what you speak, how you live life actually mirrors your family. Mirror it properly. Reflect it properly. You are here electrified by your games and gamings. As a warden myself, how much I tried. Few students who are still here and who are still addicted, trying to minimize these things. You're not living your story. You're supposed to be that village boy with big dreams. Unlimited dreams. You're supposed to be that boy with a rupa vest, for instance, but unlimited dreams and personality. And continues to live in the world of reals and fantasies. Are you properly representing your family? Who deceives who? Who is deceiving who? Are you getting me? I'm not angry. I am just hitting your forehead, that's all. Jianeng-san, are you listening to me? Li Chantang is here? Li Chantang is here? Where? I hope you're not sleeping. Integrity is living a balanced life in all of this. No one can stop you. But you alone should know where you're going, where you're heading. Integrity is a call to check on your lifestyle. Third point. Respect. Respect. Do not be complacent. Do not take it for granted. Do not take it easy. This word is a big word. How do you treat cleaners, toilet cleaners? How do you treat sweepers, chaiwalas, in the office you go, in the school you go, in the houses you visit? I want my students to inculcate the habit of respecting people and not position and status. That aspect, I have learned it, thoroughly learned it, and bombarded my brain to continue to think and think and think when I was abroad. who are so-called advanced, mentally advanced people treat people well. They don't judge by position and status. How do you see? Integrity is also how you treat somebody. Integrity is also a check on how you treat a cleaner, a sweeper, and how you treat your pastor. Obviously different. But integrity calls you to treat people and not status quo. Don't get me wrong, present final years, few of you. Final year. So, I don't know why you behave like that, but you don't even say good morning sir properly. Not everyone, few of you. Don't be complacent in inculcating that respect. You will know this person for 10 years. You will get acquainted with that person for 20 years. But maintain the same respect. Because he is a person. You got to respect the personhood and not status quo. Let us watch the video. I believe you have seen it. By the way, just 1 second. This has been viral. This video is in my mobile since 2022. So it's been viral 2-3 years ago. You might have seen it. He's a popular speaker. He's an orator. I just love him. I just admire his talk. There's one word here he'll be using called styrofoam cup. And that is nothing but the disposable cup we use. Okay? Just for you to know. And people who have never been in the flight, economy means poor people's seat in the flight. Like us, like me, who's going to fly in economy tomorrow. But business means rich people. So there's a section blocked in the aircraft. So he's talking about business class, which means the little richer people. So shall we?
There was a former Undersecretary of Defense who was invited to give a speech at a large conference of about 1,000 people. And he was standing on the stage with his cup of coffee and a styrofoam cup, giving his prepared remarks with his PowerPoint behind him. And he took a sip of his coffee and he smiled and he looked down at the coffee. And then he went off script. And he said, you know, last year I spoke at this exact same conference. Last year I was still the Undersecretary. And when I spoke here last year, they flew me here business class. And when I arrived at the airport, there was somebody waiting for me to take me to my hotel. And they took me to my hotel and they had already checked me in and they just took me up to my room. And the next morning I came downstairs and there was someone waiting in the lobby to greet me and they drove me to this here same venue. They took me through the back entrance and took me into the green room and handed me a cup of coffee in a beautiful ceramic cup. He says, I'm no longer the Undersecretary. I flew here coach. I took a taxi to my hotel and I checked myself in. When I came down the lobby this morning, I took another taxi to this venue. I came in the front door and found my way backstage, and when I asked someone, do you have any coffee? He pointed to the coffee machine in the corner, and I poured myself a cup of coffee into this here styrofoam cup. He says the lesson is, the ceramic cup was never meant for me. It was meant for the position I held. I deserved a styrofoam cup. Remember this. As you gain fame, as you gain fortune, as you gain position and seniority, people will treat you better. They will hold doors open for you. They will get you a cup of tea and coffee without you even asking. They will call you sir and man, and they will give you stuff. None of that stuff is meant for you. That stuff is meant for the position you hold. It is meant for the level that you have achieved of leader or success or whatever you want to call it. But you will always deserve the styrofoam cup. Remember that. Remember that lesson of humility and gratitude. You can accept all the free stuff. You can accept all the perks. Absolutely, you can enjoy them. But just be grateful for them and know that they're not for you. I remember getting off the Acela. I took the Acela from New York to Washington, D.C. And I got off the train like everybody else. And I was walking down the platform like everyone else. And I walked past General Norty Schwartz, who used to be the Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force, the head of the Air Force. And here I did see a guy in a suit, schlepping his own suitcase down the platform just like me. And just a couple months ago, he was flying on private jets and he had an entourage, and other people carried his luggage. But he no longer held a position, and so now he got to drag his own suitcase. And never did it to remind me more that none of us deserve the perks that we get. We all deserve a styrofoam cup.
Yeah. Life. And that's integrity. That is integrity. 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, I'm here 6th year now, when one MDH batch and one batch was about to graduate, I was given to speak on behalf of the faculty. I spoke one thing, and I want to bring that back here. Now you are friends, as classmates, you wear the same uniform, you eat the same maison. Some of you are from a very rich background, some from very poor. Some have both parents, some have single parent, some don't have even one. But coming to this college, you're all equal because you eat the same dal and same rice. You follow the same routine, and you're given equal opportunity to participate and to obtain marks. And you enjoy. You sing loud, you run around, you have friends outing, cooking, picnicking, whatever it is. It's all fine. It's all beautiful. It's all making memories. But after 20 years from now, all of you, I challenge you, you will even forget the name of your classmates. And this is very realistic because I'm experiencing myself. You will forget your friend's name, some of them. Some of you will have high positions in life, 15 to 20 years from now. Some of you will have 5 kids and jobless. Some of you might be a drug addict. Some of you could be the most popular speaker in the state. Some of your names are every household's favorite word. Some of you married and divorced. Realistic, right? Realistic. Some of you might be a sweeper and a cleaner in the hotel. Some of you might be a small outlet shopkeeper. Some of you just youth pastor forever, no promotion. Some of you will be living in a big palace RCC house. Some will have a rental thatched house. One day, you meet another friend in the market. You have status, you have a position. You got money, and you just got down from your car. Your friend is walking around shabby, looking poor, with 2 or 3 kids, wanting to buy something for the kids. Then you hit faces and meet. Suddenly you try to recollect his face and name, and he's trying to do the same. But because you are a popular name in town, he still knows you. He still sees you in social media and newspapers. But you have moved on with life. Your territory is not just in TTC, your territory is grown bigger. And so, naturally, you happen to forget that person. Not that you don't like him, not that you're not his friend. But I'm going to check on your integrity here. At that moment, how you treat that friend who you meet. You might be the busiest CEO rushing towards new market. But holding for a few minutes and talking to him like you were at TTC will describe maturity of your life's integrity. How you treat people, how you react, how you welcome, and how you embrace will tell who you are. That will envelope the integrity that you keep inside of you. At the end of the day, we all deserve the styrofoam cup, not the ceramic. At the end of the day, gratitude and humility is what makes a person an upbeat integrity. Last but not the least, I chose Proverbs because there's no literature in the whole universe like the book of Proverbs that contrasts between wise and foolishness. No literature written by C.S. Lewis can beat the idea of foolishness and wise in the Proverbs. To be wise is to set integrity in your life. A person who is full of integrity will be wise. The oft other opposite is nothing but a fool. If your trust is broken, if you lose some trust from anybody, you're no less but a fool. If you deceive yourself, your family, and your story, you're no less but a fool. If you don't practice respect, if you don't inculcate that nature of respect for every humanity, you're no less but a fool. The book of Proverbs challenges us. Instead of being rich and wealthy, I would rather choose to be wise and humble and a person of integrity. Only if we inculcate some bits of these elements that I've just discussed tonight, integrity issue never ending, but just picked up on some practical aspect tonight. If we inculcate them, we surely grow together as 25-year-old boy, 22 years old boy, 30 years old boy, towards becoming a person of integrity, a balanced boyhood, a balanced adulthood, a balanced father, and of course, mothers. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for having me, Niloka and senior friends, for tonight. I hope this little piece of talk has blessed you. I didn't mean to point on anybody else. I'm not angry at anybody else. Your batch of voice hostelers are super nice. No confusion, no tension. I really appreciate you. But us, as a matter of fact, being in this ministry, I thought this is also, of all the imperfections and limitations I do have, I thought I will share it with you to bless you as we live together and strive to grow together. God bless DTC Boys.